for here and time to probably end intervallo. It's only the dungeon left, so it's not out that lengthy considering it's intervallo dungeon. Probably we can complete it in one episode. It's going to be my predictions is actually not the story of the backstory of the abnormalities, if not the backstory of Kim. And probably that one is the one that gives the abnormality like what do we call it, a reality check to see if it was worth it what it was doing. I'm probably going to commit seppuku because if we are honest, he is still a taboo breaker, so I don't know if he's going to leave. Maybe he actually dies here. We kill it because we don't have to always try to save the abnormalities if we actually think about it. They can die too. I actually don't remember. There is another voice unit, isn't it? And you, where are you? Yes.
살점을 찢으면 더 붉게 칠해지겠.
Could even put. Maybe I should have put Salsu Autis, considering she also is dying quite a lot. If that's how everyone is living, then my life, my photographs too. So this is Escorp, right? It is reminiscent of my homeland, but the sights are much too hideous compared to what rests in my memories. Harus was up when we emerged from the entrance of the dungeon into Escorp streets. What greeted us was disorder and eerie scenery I wouldn't be surprised to find in an Escorp-themed haunted mansion. This place is hardly fit for human habitation, far more dilapidated than once expected. Thou says that people who inhabit these lands for truth? Really? I think it has a cool vibe. Vibes, my food? I don't think I will be able to get a wink of sleeping here. The lives of the downtrodden was visited by thousand hoes and more struggles, and the streets they inhabit reflect that reality. Many times I had contemplated in consternation how the folk here had even the will to live on. The shadow that had begun to haunt Kim's face still lingered there as he looked around. If the distortion reveals the phantoms of those days into, as Kim had said, perhaps this is how Escorp is reflected in Kim's eyes. On the days when the skies were spotless blue, and without orders from the counselor, we would scale to the roof of that choga, a thatched roof house. I feel it rustle beneath my back as I lie upon it. I thought that it would be a respite solely mine, yet in this mirror war another has walked here before my arrival. Knowing him looking at the thatched roof on the choga beneath it, a weak tunnel have I passed, and I have witnessed myself before the one which shall strike the head from my torso. There was a figure standing tall next to the building, staring defiantly up toward the man on the straw roof. Him guion up. Are you home? Escort Military Commissioner Saul. Are you home? I ask. What strange visitor I have. Oh, what a peculiar outfit you had before, huh? Escort, it was a P? Sal P? Why not call at the front gate if you have come seeking the master of the house? We know like a dog barking up the wrong tree. It's up and coming. A dog? Really now? I can see you up there lounging on the roof. I'm not going to speak to the door like I'm blind. It still has a suit in the armor. Here's a sprayed moon marker for you. Has a spill of some sort befallen today? To have such an odd occurrence transpire twice successive. The work of a bewitching spirit, I say. What's a bewitch about checking in on someone? Isn't it odd that a high and noble military commissioner of our steam corporation will come in person to simply check in on a lowly mercenary affairs? You know me? Haha, she certainly knows her jest. She marches forward, best in wars, trader armor. He expects no violence. She wields a two-handed great blade like a demonic yaksha, yet harbors no hostile intent. Why who else might she be but military commissioner Kyung Ep, the principal of the famous Nim family? You are certainly into habit of speaking in hyperbole. I'm not so noble that I deserve to be complimented when I defeated Sokran as the principal. Haha, not a compliment, you see, Commissioner. This is a rhetorical technique, not as a backhanded compliment, in which I deem you with praise for your suborn, my precious principle that you would rather be unreasonable than betray them. Does an officer rank second orbitant, no orbitant, have no way to engage in such banter? Why am I out of line, as they say? You two are friends, right? This was our first meeting, so no, not that precise moment. And I'm just saying that if we here, I would have let myself become friends with you after such a bad first impression. Can't imagine becoming friends with someone who keeps pushing my buttons. Maybe, but people do find friendship in such personalities if they have a taste for prickliness. You got a friend in us, don't you? Fine, you have a point. I guess I do have a bit of pushing people buttons too. But still, I heard you're not seriously comparing the way I talk into his sassy at Shadaigin Unreal. Well, the word we live is a vast and diverse one. Consider yourself lucky that you are surrounded by so many quirky characters. Is it because of that same luck that you took the joke, well, rather than respond by trying to cut off my head? You're out of line, yes, but I knew you will be, so I won't take issue with it. So I must admit, the rumors of your sharp tongue do you no justice. The streets speak of a man they call Kimblid. Bamboo Rain Rat? No, Bamboo Rain Hat. Well, Rat could be also. A man who once had intended to pursue the path of the brush, only to realize the sins of his forefathers and exile himself to the back streets. Yet, with the sheer power of will, gritted teeth, and scarred heart, did he find in the path of sword another way into the nest, as a rights that consider sworn sword at that. That's you, isn't it? Oh wait, I changed the voice. Well. Also superlatives here that it is that I merely found the path of man butchery as available way of life. Direct any compliments you have towards the right state consider, if you will. I am but a butchering blade that happened to fall into the right hands. Not a compliment, just a word of the street. Ah, you are quick learner. And spare me the fancy reading of my name, watching you pretend that Pancho's posturing comes naturally. It's painful enough already. Keep it simple and spell it as bamboo-headed Kim. Thank you. And thus he continued to bear away from the line. I would rather be a corpse cold and dead and stay in line. Have a shred of mercy on me, almighty one. If I come all the way here to just punish you for every little misdeed, and in manners, I would have laid you out and split you into 3 ways before this riveting dialogue brought us this far. So, feel free to continue traipsing outside the line, but in return, will you answer a few of my questions? I've been watching you from a distance for a while now, and... Really? Stalking someone's not very principled of you? Are you sure she didn't get you a wild gallop after that? No, truly a mystery, isn't it? Besides, she did give me free rein to continue traipsing outside the line. I couldn't in good conscience turn down such offer of kindness that I ever do, bro. You should avoid going with words. I wanna find a way under the listener's skin, huh? Perhaps, yet there are such japs not to be expected among fellowships of course, mutual bond. They don't look like friends yet, though. So, care to tell us why she's been watching you? I was engaged in the age-old pastime of throwing rocks. I did how this one. You speak of the game of Tsukyon, rock tossing? Duke. Jumps. Save them for the festivities of Dano. I was throwing rocks at the passers-by. Fianti, that's a grand deed, good sir. I suppose it is. People of the Pio and Sal bone flesh. Ah, so that's what I mean. So what? Flesh, bone. No, it's actually in Spanish it's also a verb, but flesh, bones, and it's not actually bones. It's the last one. Which, yeah, I guess here it is too. Bones is the last one, Pepio. Sal, P, and Pepeo. What was... well, maybe they say that later. People of the Pepeo and Sal in particular found it to be distasteful, and did not let their discontent be hidden. But the P, blood, flesh, blood, and bones. Damn, boy! It was not that hard. I guess it's not that common to say it either. You tend to say use my blood and flesh. But the bee antidotes tend to cheer me on to a degree. They find it cathartic. Oh, curious. Then it's a right deed or I did not right. Pepio Sal, whatever is that thou art describing? It is a well-known truth that S-Corp is also known by its other name, Sal Pepio Agro Industries, a wing specializing in the general agricultural and livestock industry of the city. The vastness and the depth of its responsibilities have necessitated such divisions of labor. Thus, District 19 is split into 3 core cycles responsible for different aspects of the industry, Sal, P, and PPO, each meaning flesh, blood, and bone, respectively. Sal, responsible for the cultivation of rice and other grains, PPO, responsible for meat and livestock, and P, in charge of technological aspects of both. That's such a weird, well, different from the other two. Agriculture, well, yeah, livestock and just technology. Makes sense, but it's such a weird contrast. As a scientist and researcher who once stayed at S-Corp, you must have felt the persecution that P faced firsthand. It is believed that the Trinity was designed for balance, that they would provide assistance when requested and keep one another in check when needed. It was once a promise of cultivating a fair and sustainable S-Corp. Alas, the noble intentions of yesteryear now lie sullied. The Trinity now degraded to 3 quarreling bands of profiteers blinded by avarice, rallying not on honor but betrayal, and perfidy to claim the top of the triangle. An adherent of the flesh claims the position of the chief state councillor and monopolizes rights as the common folk starve. An adherent of the bone wants a right state councillor, though this to Sal and rises to the seat of the left state councillor. When such shameless conspiracy permits not the common folk to even till the land as they please, anguished cries of suffering blow the streets. Thus the common folk are reduced to livestock, lay bleeding out, hanging from a hook, while bone and flesh collude like that of an emancipated dead. Who shall claim the severance of flesh and bone and force them both to yield? And of her bone when walking the streets of S-Corp? Then the people whom to have targeted with the rocks were... They weren't people... rats? Rats? Oh yes, the consular finds rats detestable. Much better to stand from far distance if you want to crush them. By any chance, do these rats have a bit of sneaking into the royal court to better pilfer what the common folk rightfully deserve? They certainly suffer from a severe case of kleptomania. So you purposefully threw rocks at his feet to trip him on the ground, knowing that he was a kleptocrat? Well, I simply could not help but reach at such in the presence of scurrying rats. Is that off you find funny? Speak if you do, I could use a good laugh about now. Just here to expressing my gratitude. That is all. Thus would corruption is rebel will off to really receive their scarlet whereabouts Take out to scamper away with their expensive prosthetics. My men were having some trouble apprehending them until now. Well, if that's your intent, you are invited to leave a token of gratitude somewhere in the vicinity. Perhaps I will happen to pick it up when we want to get thrown into dungeons, then with real vermin. Huh, I was going to do just that. Hmm? So, when will you stop being a sword and big human again? What? When do you clock out? The way I see it, you are not the kind of person who will ever let a drop of liquor get to his tongue when on duty for the right state councillor. Return to the shower when you're human again. A virginal drink as a thanks. Quite cute indeed. Ah, she's a funny one, Mentor, then this fellow you had after mentioned fondly was correct. Haven't I mentioned her a few times that the Rican fellow had left behind in Escorp? I must say, I myself found that relationship most intriguing, that a military commissioner of the Sal faction will fraternize with a bodyguard of the right state councillor, who was of the P faction. Still, I knew that that fellow was none other than a military commissioner of Escorp. Angdu's eyes had gone wide in shock, her voice raising unconsciously. It is new to me that you have advised the second ordinary official, a military officer with command over high-ranking employees of the wing at that. Well, I was in the service of the right stand councillor, whose first ordinance you know. Well, that might be true, yet you would like to know why I, with such a powerful friend by my side, have ended up in exile from Escort. Yes, your silent over matters of such great import is why I have to come to introduce to her as a resident one, mentor. We had made the lineage our home for Escort Avail, no home for us, but the lineage for would you, mentor? I would rather show and tell. Let's proceed, shall we? This enchanted place seems intent on hurting all my past, but savory and unsavory, and shall be revealed in due time. Keep look around, a twinge of loneliness in his eyes before moving on. We follow without a word. Okay. I could, but everybody uses. How do you call it? Well, actually, everybody uses H2, so. Still, probably more use of Heathcliff and Honglu. We emerged in a dark and muggy cavern filled with air so it almost felt stifling. Up ahead, a thin rain of light shone through the darkness, seemingly guiding our path. Following the light led us to a four-way, forking the road. A constant, powerful hole through one of the paths. Another was filled with a metallic tang, the smell of blood. The enter was a path that was entirely silent, and the last one echoed with harsh noise of sword striking against sword. Which path should you choose? The path smells of blood. The smell of blood saturates the very air. Oi lass, put yourself together, yeah? Don't wait too long to take another one of them blood bags if you need it. It's hardly enough to check my resolve. But as we progressed through the passage, the scent of blood only got more oppressive, and we were starting to stumble from the sheer thickness of it, until all of a sudden the air cleared to a fresh crispness. As we were getting our bearings, I noticed a pedestal of stone stuck before us. On top of it lay a neat briefcase that seemed to have been well cared for. In corpse service, the closed briefcase. When hit an enemy using a skill that inflicts bleed, potency, count, or unique bleed, inflict 1 nails once per skill. When triggering tremor burst on the enemy that has nails, inflict 1 bind. For a bleed one. Very well. What it is. Continue to be you. No, wait. Well, actually it's focused encounter, so it doesn't matter anyways, but use,
자,
used to have them.
돌아갑니다.
Bam, 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 bam. On new enemies, Blade Lineage, Grunts. Indeed, Hateful Blade Lineage Salsu. The last breath. If this unit is defeated, apply 5 poison and 2 poison count on all Blade Lineage allies as the next turn starts. At 20 plus more potency, equip slash series until a small slot. Variant of Assault Su. At 1 poison count, lose 10 HP instead of losing poison count. This effect can stagger this unit that does not drop this unit's HP below 1. Oh. Peculiar one. Deal plus missing HP percentage of cells divided by 2. Damage on critical hit using base skill. Max 50%. Which obviously is max. You have to be in 1 HP to have a 99% of divided by 2. 49, well, 50 you round up. When gaining poise potency using this unit's own skill and coin effects, apply 1 poise on an ally that does not have poise or has the lowest poise potency. The one from Don Quixote. Terms and infatuate enemies on the field gain 1 slash damage up and 2 blade count. When crash loose gains split in memory. Oh! What? Finally? Negative coins. I don't have enough, so probably it's going to lose the clash. So the blade lineage goes with -1? Well, this blade lineage. Acupuncture. They lose the HP and 2, no? Or is because they lose the poise that they have maintained. Yeah, negative. Peculiar that they work like that. I have 3, maybe G-Man manages to get the homeland. It should be 4 power on the coin, so... but she doesn't have poise. He's not going to give her anything. You need 4 poise to at least get the homeland passive. Oh, we'll still manage to win the crash, so it's alright. Oi! Who was stagger? Acupuncture is... Do I have Kim on my side? Because Marshall didn't use acupuncture. Actually, what is Marshall after it? Oh yeah, I do have Kim. Where are you? There. Bamboo Hatted Kim, Blade Lineage, LCD, Limbus Company, and Syndicate. Drop the sword. 10? Also, why are you level 81? If you... That's weird, no? He was quite weak in level arena. It's not that he was in the start of the city level. So it's peculiar, that's for sure. Maybe they buffed for the story's sake. Made him stronger than he was. Acupuncture. To yield my flesh. Being a loose one. An overthrow. Oh, it increases slash power? No. Well, no, slash damage up. And to claim their bones. Because overthrow in Library of Arena was a skill that gives you +3 power up. And draw of the sword was a 1 cost. Oh yeah, your passives. Passives. Opponent detected for the first time game. Brand. No. What? Base offense level menos. Beginning of the Salsu at 1 the same. Sword Prey of the Homeland. Your Pride Resonance was activated, gain Pride Resonance times 2 poise. With a maximum of 8, apply 1 slash power up and 1 crit damage on all Sinnosenses units, excluding these units for Blade Strike double to effect. Oh. Turn and gain poison cells divided by 4 haste next turn. Maximum of 6. Damn. That's actually a lot. More than how do you call it? Angdu that was supposed to gain. Well, it's a one-tap benefits for haste. Red Lineage Mentor when gaining poison potency or count using this skill. This unit's own skill and coin effects. Every one potency and 1 poise count on the sinner and 2 assist units that do not have poise or the lowest poise potency. For Blade Shells, apply 3 potency at 2 pound. And it's every time he gains, no, it doesn't have a limit for turn. Alright. While a Blind Lineage Sinner loses units is defeated, the unit loses 10 SP. Ilma Fresh to cry Interbones. In this encounter, when this unit takes damage that brings they don't die. After the plus poise potency, fix the unit speed to 20 next turn and equip Ilma Fresh. Overthrow. It's a clashable counter, but it's not going to attack anyway. It's still yellow, isn't it? You could use this. Oh, shame. Lose the clash. Well, at least even Ishmael is benefiting from the slash power. Managed to not die. Surugiri. I noticed it had red before. Yes, it's not a focus one. It makes sense. Change to red. Yes. Well, at least I can maintain combo. Neutral. Enough is going to win. I'm going to be sincere. There we go. Double red. Well, actually could have used Gloom ability. The second one is not affected by the gambling passive. So he's just going to lose the Gloom. Oh well, they die anyways. Quite the peculiar passives, that's for sure. Well, not peculiar, strong. Phantoms. Excuse me. As we were slowly looking around the streets of Escorp, I yelled after fidgeting and hesitated for a moment, walked up to us and asked for help. The youth explained that, wishing to better his own status, he took the real examination, a key to a public employment policy in Escorp, and was able to attain a high grade for himself. And that was where his problems began. As far as he knew, people who passed the exam with flying colors, like himself, had their travel expense paid for the homeward trip and were to be granted a guide. But there must have been a misunderstanding or something, because when he left the exam grounds, no one was there to escort him. Confused by the unexpected turn of events, he wandered away from the exam grounds in search of his escort. As his beatings and found himself and his allies. Alice. He's asking if people could help me with directions. What should we do? Let me ask my girl if they can help. Hey, because of the blind lineage. Personal up enter mode begins, stop and turn around to where Bamboo Hatted Kim and Engdu were. I'm not so well versed in geography of this area, perhaps Mentor will know better? Come on. Kim let out an escort sign and walk up to the yacht to give him directions. And take off that royal conservative rubber crown. You don't want people to know you passed the exam. Huh? Well, why will? It's for a good reason. Just do as I say, and you will tag me one day. The youth stared back at him in puzzlement before seemingly deciding to give him proper attitude for Kim's as he took precedence. He had understood what appeared to be a small ceramicware vessel. Might this be a water dropper for brush calligraphy? Though you might have no practical need for this, for I see none of you much acquainted with the art of rending ink against inkstone. I impart this gift to you in hopes that this dropper might form a small flow in your rivers of life. To have been made for a rather moving moment had it not been for exaggerated scoff Kim gave, the youth hurried on his path without minding the sudden discourtesy. And do let her ask him what had spurred his also the outburst, but he did not give her a reply, instead choosing silence behind pursed lips because he didn't manage to pass, didn't it? Or maybe he passed and was the same situation, but they just run him down. Oh, it would have made for a Vecja water dropper. When an allied identity gains as its defense, the side ally gains 2 damage up and 2 protection. Effects applied to the number 1 deployed identity. Turn end, gain 2 haste next turn. When identity speeds faster than the enemies, deal more damage. Very well. It's the same anyways. We're going to beat the same enemies. Let's see. Oh,
아비들도 거미집도 지금까지와 앞
it is indeed. So we are going to skip.
당신 짭해군요.
You know, funny enough, because of their negative coins, they actually draw. Well, not draw. They go pretty high in numbers. They can win a lot of clashes. So they are more difficult than Encore and Shunox. Still, Kim managed to claim Boniski. Let's see what's the last one probably. No, this one is quite more lengthy than usually. Going to be a normality turn. Is it raining? No. I catch a glimpse of a figure staring off into the darkness of the unlit prison. Now had the king lets us aside, but before he even fully exhales. Who was that? A sharp cry cuts through the stagnant air. Someone here must be notice us. What should we do? Climb toward the prison guards, keeping our eyes on the prisoner. Let's put a little friend to realize, Cree pretending to be prison guards the way we are was a lie too easily disproven. The doctor Hills, as the woman red with anger came after us with her sword and shield. Warning. Pecatula? It's a rat symbol. Unless we're going to fight against the gear. Well, yeah, if the 2 options were use combat. No, it can be. My life is. The experiences, the memories I had recorded are different. Alas. Kim came to stop with a grim look on his face. A game and returned to this day. His voice had dropped to the same morose pitch we had heard before. Mentor, I have been here before. Have you? A peek into my memories when I had this art, did you? I must say, it's a bit embarrassing to have my deepest and darkest secrets revealed like that. Kim grinned sheepishly as though to clear the air, but it was becoming rather clear to me what he was doing. That his flippant demeanor and seemingly devil-may-care attitude was but a mere mask to hide the true darkness in his heart. Then this must be, indeed, the right side councillors say. Someone who I once protected, thought was worth protecting. Kim pushed open the main gates and made his way into the front yard. Watch out, Hindu, take a tall step over you might trip. There were bodies splayed about the yard and I couldn't dare start counting them. I felt pain watching the aftermath of the carnage. Some were decapitated, some had their torsos split diagonally, and some of them were so mangled that I could hardly ever tell which parts belonged to who. Are they not retainers of the royal court? What were they doing at the councillors? No, were they killed by assassins? Assassins did, the frustrated said yes. You're looking at what remains of them. Though I had but a moment to glimpse it, I clearly remember what the escort logo I saw in Kim's phantoms looked like. The hat these corps are, or were wearing, are adorned with the same logo. So why is Bambuhata Kim calling them assassins? In this corrupt land, the right side considers life was always as precarious as a candlelight in tempest. Such is the fate of all those who have the guts to speak the truth in escort, where positions of influence are held by corrupt psychopaths, whose chokehold on power is ironclad. No sycophants, no psychopaths. The most prominent among them, the left state councillor, with the chief state councillor's blessing, sought to will his own private army to silence forever the tongues of those who would advocate against the corrupt. Private army would they provided in our homeland. So they're kinda like how the great houses each has their own armies? This is similar to what is happening, but not exactly. If escort circumstances were to explain in plainer terms, it would be akin to a situation in which a company whose employees outwardly appear to be all working for the same side is in fact fractured within, with certain departments pledging alliance to different individuals than the chief executive. What assassins there had been in the past at least wore masks to hide their alliance. I had thought this is no different, though with assassins significantly less invested in maintaining their disguises. Not realizing that I had just placed my stone inside the tiger's maw. Looking around the yard teeming with assassins, I recall thinking it out just how many times often they had sent. So, the left-side consular's power had grown to loom over the head of the king. I should have realized how ridiculous such a brazen attempt on the life of one of the triumvirate consulars of the real court would have been. Foolish. I can't have failed you, consular. There were simply too many of them, as though they had decided that tonight was the night they would finally slay the consular or trying. I was soon overwhelmed, and some of them eventually managed to get around me and reach the consular's bedchamber. Then when I heard them breach the door, all strength left me, and I fell to my knees. I, Kim Limb, and poor excuse of a bodyguard, I have failed you. And I knew who the author of the false scheme was, the left state councillor. Let this might be my final act of loyalty here I depart this life. Though I am too a meager person to carry off your will, consider, what I can do is simply plant the seed of terror in the hearts of the unjust, if only to shackle their blackest hairs from committing greater misdeeds. I shall go before the villain who contribute this betrayal and see that the favor is repaid with steel. Only by such vengeance shall the consider at last close his eyes in his grave. Or so I had thought. Creek. What? Greetings, honorable bodyguard of the right councillor. I see that you are being hard at work. A cursed parasite had helped to fly you alive and reveal the great soul underneath. Some gal you have to show your face here. Oh, here? You mean the home of the honorable right councillor who toils day and night in the service of the royal court? I know the assassins were sent by the left state councillor. Get off my way. I shall collect your head once my task here is over. Alas, alas, this unsightly spirit of anger changes all. Altos will live by the sword of as uncut as you. The cruelty of your damning words and oppressing upon decent men like myself. Let's see how long you can. Get me, soldiers. Arrest that mad butcher. What? The accused shall head his crimes. 1 moon ago, an anonymous letter threatening to take the life of the revered right state councillor arrived at the royal court. This audacious tumultuous effrontery is an affront not only to the royal court, but the heavens and men alike. The revered left state councillor who has long been in disagreement with the right state councillor on matters of the state found this offense to be so heinous that he has personally commanded his men to protect his political enemy on the day read on the letter. Yet tragedy has struck. All those lives sent to protect the noble council are slain. The bravery and justice of their honour hearts trampled upon the ground by this villain. And now the villain promises death to yet another pillar of the royal court. Thus we are perforce to arrest the criminal and restore the rule of law. Use potential's dribble as you men make their way into the council's bedchamber with their blades drawn. The councillor, were you looking for the right state councillor here alive and well? My lord. The beadle Grudge leaned down next to my ear and whispered, perhaps you should have known where to not stick your nose. Did you really think you could overcome the entire private army in the left state councilor's service? He sent so many of his men to their traps, to the death just to lure me into a trap. Why? No, don't take this as a compliment, as you are not even the apex blade of the homeland, nor are you the ungeom Cloudblade. You have been a rather egregious obstacle to the execution of my plans. Couldn't get through with the first thing in my plan. But you're constantly getting in my way, let's keep you nicely look back and out of trouble. This can be. For what's worth, young man, I'm sorry. I've come to realize the error of my ways. The truth is, so Escorp is indeed a pond of turbid water. It was those like us who had steered the deer from its bed and turned it cloudy. In the wars, we arrived to protect the revered right-side councillor. A tongue sank courses on Bontevilian in his quest for the right-side councillor's life. The butcherous man had already watered the ground with Escorp labourers, the very lifeblood that runs in the veins of the most serene wing. And that charcoal heard the villain is not other than the councillor's sworn guard, Kim Leap. Ah, Eros, so villain, and obey, and let the aura bounds take you. You have fallen far, my friend. You were once considered a candidate to the honor of Umgeon, and with that brand of a novice sapping your strength, and your mastery with the blade will only do you to be my executioner, Guillaume up. I can receive the orders to behead you if that is what you are asking, nor will I befit someone of my station to slip my hands with an executioner's duty. How will you live on now? I don't know. The consular has abandoned me. There is no path forward. South PPO Agro-Industries is more corrupt than I had thought. Rotten to the core. This is where the game ends. Titan resign my stone. Indeed it is. Why are you freeing me? Once a game has been lost, you start anew and test other gambits in the next round. Why don't you stop playing this unfair game where the opponent always starts with stones placed on all ends? 9 star points on the board, and find a place where you can begin anew in school standing. As soon as they realize what you freed me, they will come after you. It's okay, unlike someone who made a fool of himself afraid after passing the royal examinations. I have the royal court backings as military commissioners. Miss position in the court is so fickle that they will cast me down right away just because I let go of someone like you. You are branded criminal in the eyes of the royal court. You're as good as inconsequential. I will report that even if you were to flee, you will still be nothing more than a plaything in the palm of their hands. I didn't think you were too kind to go against your honorable principles. Some things can be done without bending a rule or two, and you are needed. Escort's future is in need of those who are less bound by expectations like yourself. Besides, it's not the rules I stand by, it's my own principle. As I owe you a token of gratitude, and I consider this a statement of that. Gratitude and vengeance, after all, share a common quality. They're both debts of to be repaid. Guillaume, up. Come with me, there is no hope left for Escorp, you said yourself, didn't you? We'll never win as long as we're playing the rigged game. Listen, they might have a 9-stone advantage over you, but to me, it's as small as 3. I will manage and keep my finger on the pulse. Besides, change doesn't always have to come from the outside. The old wisdom says that to catch a tiger you must enter its den. Wouldn't it help to have an ally waiting in the tiger's den to back you up when the time comes? There, all done, your bonds are severed. Go now. Go and build your strength beyond the walls of Escorp, yet beware of relying overmuch on foreign powers. I don't have it in me to take up such a grand purpose, and down with the Escorp. You know who I am, I just go with the flow. Yes, do as you will, go with the flow, be whatever you want to be. Then just hoping that the current of the rivers will someday bring you back to Escorp, that's all. Though I had left the Riga game records afterward when stellar, the laying of the stones on my board was always full of holes and mistakes. A young the blind lineage became their mentor, dragged them into the library, until eventually I cut down those who had placed their faith in me. Self-defeating move and self-defeating move. When Geop had let me go, I thought I had escaped the Deer's Maw. But as I let the game progress with a flow, I soon came to realization that my life was an endless sequence of connect and dies. I was in a losing play from the start. Shadows dancing by the distant humanoid form began to grow like wildfire. And those in theater of the brave lineage one by one leap over the wall and approach us, like the projections of Kim's darkening phantoms. There from his memories, films and photographs can sometimes remain on the doctor, but the impressions a person gets from viewing the photograph is malleable. Then they must be after. Yeah, Kim believes that if the Blade lineage were to come back to life, they would want to kill him. It's a special fight or is just... Two knocks. Okay, we escaped. Right, that's the fight. These ones were not so difficult. The Ushonok really is a lot weaker than the Salsus, funny enough. I even thought it was a warning, right? Someone carried a sword on his belt and a sack on his shoulder leaped into a high stack near us. A few moments later, a small squad of Chunok's torches in hand rushed in from the same direction the mat had come from. We saw a criminal who was coveted by the king, who has covered the kingdom's property flee in this direction. Speak up if you have sent the grudge. The Chunoks began walking up to the civilian and questioning them about the criminal's whereabouts, despite all having seen the man jump into the haze. A couple of them shake their heads and refuse to give up the criminal. Are they heading in for some reason? Some Chunoks having made their way through the crowd approach us as well. What should we do? Set that you don't know, then slowly turn towards the haystack. Pointer interval, let's see, what's this? As the Chunoks began to surround the haystack, I thought we were going to turn towards the haystack. See what the man was. Who? The man was being heading towards the universe and bolted away in the opposite direction. That's him! The Chunoks merely froze in stone silence. They began rushing towards where the man had fled. Something about the way the civilians were gliding us made it clear they didn't like that. No, it's just, it says warning, but it's the same fights continual.
부탁드려요.
Oh yeah, I guess the continue function. It's a fight? Normal fight? It is, we escape, you know, 30 sanity and they almost lose all the clashes. I really have bad luck with heads rolling. Ooh, let's see. The boss fight probably of this one, not probably, it's most certainly. Like a prey back against the cliff's edge, I am left bereft of paths. My hand hesitates with no room to place the stone. Misjudgments burgeon when contemplations harrow the mind indeed. No, all that remains is to neutralize that one enemy combatant in the yard. Tell me, who's waiting for us in there? You should know, this place has its enemies are projections of your memories. Not a hard guess to make, is it? I expect to find Im Gyeonyeop. Saying the Gyeonyeop was a woman of loyalty and principles. Even as a military commissioner, she never stopped wanting to change the way the real court was. On even end, she must have broken. In the end, I scoured the newspaper and TV for anything I could find. On the current state of escort booty was plain as day, and nothing has changed there since my departure. Mentor, is that not but a baseless speculation? Your concerns grown uncontrollable? Never have you spoken to us about such monstrous one in the past? Thus what lies before you is but a figment of the distortion reflecting upon your memories. Did he seem ever appeared as the monster does, Mentor? No. Gyeonyeop wasn't like that. Gyeonyeop, I still believe that Salpibio agro-industries deserves to die. But destruction's not the point. The point is that I want it to be a place where I can cut away the avaricious corrupt and have it to be a wing that cares for this common folk. If I didn't know better, I would have thought you were seeking to supplant the current escort. You know, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just a wanderer, pulling down the river's flow to where the currents take him. When the river bent and I hit a wall, someone picked me up and made me up. Laid out of me, once abandoned, I returned the flow. I found myself a mentor, who afforded me the desert fate. And the river continues to wane, carrying me back to Aescorp, where once I had fled. Shall I let the blade sink my inner thoughts? You think I'm satisfied with the way Aescorp is? When your method, as it now, goes against the principles. I expected better from someone of your wiles. If you enjoy those principles so much, then why ask me to leave the game? Because someone has to stay behind and try to bring change within the limits of their principles. I hope that one of those bends in that river of yours will throw you back to knock on the gates of Escort once it was primed for change. Has that changed? What do you think? You at least seem to think that I have. Because you believe that I shall stand in your path. Stand in my path. And stem the flow of this river evermore. Very well. The law states that denial of the will of the royal court is crime deserving of death by beheading. I am Im Geop, second ordinary of the LPPO and Grand Users, official of the sword, and military commissioner to the royal court, shall uphold the command, and sever the boats of rebellion before they propagate. Shall she be the same? Imagine him give up. Shift Battlefront to start gain or lose to surprise of the Homeland Cell, stack based on Battlefront of the Homeland itself. And turn when this unit equip MB skills, this unit will not affect by surprise of the Homeland Cell stack adjustment effects. But we reset to 5. The same ones. The Ground Mountain is the same one. This one is new. The 3 core circles of SAL, P and PPOH remain the standard Dugion Brigantine of Escort, into form sets with their own doctrines. Tell the tale, say that SAL has been the first to spearhead the slaughter, eager to cleave the enemy flesh before any other. The P harvests the blood that spills forth from each open flesh wound and turns it into endurance on the battlefield. The PPO takes the clothes of a slaughter. They part one joint from another, bringing the enemy to their knees, then a blade through the neckbone finishes the collective act of killing. So now is when she actually is going to use the arrows. The sword of the homeland passed down in Salcor Sekul is not at its heart an art of killing. To cut and cut again until blood runs dry and the bone is laid bare. That is the essence of this art that strips the opponent's flesh into ribbons. That is the sword of the homeland practiced by Sal. The perseverance is the same. This flesh I claim, yield my flesh. The critical hits again put him, and none of the story on these ones? No. You're going to have something special, Bamboo Teuhatet El Kim. Faith lost is encountered with this unit skill. You too, Engdu? No, maybe you actually just escape. Oh, 7. Where are you, bear hunt? So let's... Are you clashing him? A purple one and you're doing nothing. Alright, we talk this one. It's not a crashable, it's only a normal one actually. If I want to win that one, need her to... Purple, yellow, yellow. But she's not going to gain... Well, actually, Kim is going to give her 5 and 2 count, right? So maybe she does get the bonus. Why are you rolling +2? Well, wanted clash, but why? Why were you losing 1 coin power? Was there an effect I didn't notice on her clash? This one I actually like more than the Chunox. This one I quite enjoy the rhythm and combination of the instrument with the lyric. Well, will be chanting, more correctly to say. Yeah, something funny I forgot to mention. Because they are assist units as such, they actually keep resetting SP in the fights. Acupuncture you're not going to be able to use, and you were the first one. Lose. This is the bow. Target enemy that the figures consume 3 to gain final power. It happens sometimes if you lose the bow. This is no. Well, if this unit uses the bow, the another lose skill in the last turn, use power skill regardless of use power skill. So next turn she's going to use her strongest ability. Let me take the strongest one. No, it was always a +2 without conditioners when it's weaker. So I want to get actually Homeland. You're one that's not doing anything is really. Like this one. Actually, yeah, you are the strongest. I don't know if I want you to be the faster. Could left it to Ishmael. -3, so we're going to go down to 1. Or no? Oh no, it was Ryoshu, yes, I forgot actually. Important fact. No, not that I think about it, she doesn't have the armor anymore, huh? So it was just for that fight, it was HP. It indeed was. Going to be uncrashable once, but going to lose power. Didn't say what level is she actually, I'm curious. She was going to lose if it wasn't for... Oh, still dealt a lot of damage. I suppose it didn't lose any values for fighting, but whenever it was one, I shall bear down upon them. Yeah, I guess it maintains all the power it had. And she is weak to pierce, or who knows? No, it was actually just blunt. The ones are getting different stat ones. Was the strong one. Yeah, let her attack. Bang do. They were going to try to deal more damage. The effects inflicted by the coin. Maybe it was minimum this and do the damage with critical, so gain the full bonus. Counter. Convert all coins into breakables. Crash start gain, you're going to go to 6 and then go below other 6, so actually this one is not necessary. But I should do it to the last part because she's going to change. So the slowest is Versal. I can let her attack Ishmael. Don't let her gain unbreakables, that's why I don't want to put her at 1 so fast. And Sangun shall be cliff. 5. Blade Trail Ryoshu really well. Blade Ryoshu really works as a boss killer, augmenting slash damage. Somewhat expected, but no problem with that. Let's her actually win a bit of SP. Five. So they a bit too close. Tiger hand, and everything is attacking. Yield my flesh. Let him get the one with the strongest one. Which one is the farthest into the right? And he's here, so I can do this without problem. Crash start gain, so you're going to lose coin power. Procreation. That's the same. Well, it's going to, but still it's going to be a 13. Not sure how, not very sure how it's going to win.
그려낸 게
Punk. 1600, 200. Let's put in paralyze next one. Lost?
이 순간이 다 배어.
You managed to lose, you say? It's at 12. And a nice 12 because he's, well, nice. Maintaining Tessal in 8, she doesn't, should not be gaining unbreakable coins, isn't she? Unless their hand always have it. Is my Ishmael going to die?
내가 찾은
Is he thief? No, not he thief. What was fierce? Honglu going to come up? No, I guess she's going to survive one more attack.
아메스코.
Although she's bleeding. And then do continue to lose.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않아.
Doing a decent amount of damage. You have the bow now? No, Tiger Splitter. 6. Luz and you. You are 1 SP. How much coin power you losing? You are -2. I guess it's enough. Going to punch it against her till the end. And if not the one, what are you attacking that one and you power ward that is not going to do anything. Six. Let's see if he doesn't lose again. Actually, he's supposed to do this. Do this. What color? Blue should be you. No, white. Why? When against this one is domineering. Gain, alright. Actually, how close are you to 50? 33. No, we use rent space then. Getting way too close to the limit of getting rent space drain connection. Counter-attack. It put, yeah, fragile. Oi. The counter. Oh, come on. How many times are you going to lose, oh man? All options to win, still continues to lose. And there is the goes Ishmael. He's going to die with a blade, like it. Kim.
이 순간이
We're going to gain.
낮도 반복시
I guess Aindu is going to get the assist defense, so the other sword. Oh, there we go. String connection.
절박하게 갈망했으니 헤아릴 수 없이
Which is going to put us close to the 50s. 50, so we are going to get string severance. Indeed. Oh no, it's echo share, right. Do you get a special effect of at 50% or less, which is this one probably? I guess 6,000, the half is 3,050, no, what? 68? 66? So no, I'm not in the 50s yet. My sensei is something of if it's stagger, recover from stagger, right? So I could technically do the attack. Oh. Ah, that's why it's becoming unbreakable. 3 hours, so I'm converting coins into breakables. Who is going to acupuncture? 7, you're going to 10, so now I'm going to maintain you with 7. Congratulations with this record, we cannot start from before taking damage until this skill ends. So better do it fast, let her get staggered then. The last of the Tiger Hunt, right? Don't really want this one getting out of that coin power, and it's anyways going to be no, probably not a good option. Ishmael, you're probably going to die, but still, I guess I'll give you a try.
적의 말을 걷는
No, if it's hopeless, it's going to use that without doing that much. Let her gain 10, well 9, more like it. Now she gains until after clash. Do the damage. So going to do herself the damage, which kills Ishmael.
이 순간이 다
Quite a cool effect. Echo Shear.
몰아치는 것을
On 80 you can get staggered, so you're going to kill you betrayer. I could have yielded my flesh and claimed her bones. Endu is going to bleed. 2 substitutes. No, what was? There we go. its own, so it's going to maintain it.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
Bleed. So the self-same affair repeats itself.
이 순간 다
Well, if she didn't want a single clash and bleeds, what can we do over there? Time of distrust. Actually forgot what it was. A rupture, right? That's what it does. Another one strong. Bear spine breaker. Ooh, you're getting a bit too much, Angel. Nothing new. No, right. And Kim, there we go. You're going to do something special? Not really, no. So what are you countering? The burst splitter? Well, no, we actually need to weaken one of these. Who doesn't have low health? Faust. Sorry, Quixote, but you need to fight her. Daughter with her. We're splitter. Oh wait, one of the bear splitter was going to be used. Boar splitter, the tier one, which is going to get beat this one. Oh, forgot completely about this one. You're not getting any points? Huh? No? Seems like it, no? Alright. Or 100 or in the 600s. Ooh. Oh, excellent. Managed to go low enough that she can win. But that one can stun, doesn't it? Stagger. Not getting a lot of SP.
이 순간이 다 되었느니라.
Maybe dies this turn? Depends. She didn't win the crash. And she won the crash. 60. Might actually die. Well, depends. How fast are you? Look at that. Just look at that.
벤던 4월을 걷다
to clean their bones. Punk. With a 69! Damn, King! You're making it pretty obvious, friend. She's not as powerful as I recall, yet we don't. I didn't see her level. Well, I can see it in the video, I suppose. She's not as powerful as I recall, yet we don't by the brand. I'm not so far ahead or behind. I don't know, I think you're doing pretty well. But really, they appear really much yet. Oof. He's wielding that sword like he's trying to get himself killed. That work is far beneath him. Seeking to end here, is he? Can you afford to look away, Nadil? I don't know if I want to use this one. It could be a bit too spoilery. Ugh. What are you doing? You rather lock your sword with mine than parry it away? Can't have a proper sword fight with the blade locked, so? Huh? The duel between the mentor of a syndicate and a military commissioner of Escorpis neck to neck, clash after clash. The two warriors eventually looked their blades in a contest of might before it came to a close in a final fatal bout when the dusk settles the mentor lies in the sand there. If that is what you want, I will grant it. Good. Let's finish this. Yusuf Bamboo had the Kim and Imgep ready for their final bout and do leap in between them. Engdu! I really so ashamed that you will choose death over life, Mento. You so scared to live that you will rather die? Yes, I am. I'm scared. I'm terrified of my own audacity to live my days as though I had failed everything and everyone who had the misfortune of placing their faith in me. My mission, my honor, my fellows. As though my path isn't haunted by ghosts, as though I can stand shamelessly before the watching eyes of the heavens. What have I even done with my life that was given to me? Blind to the realities of my homeland, I serve a master who chose politics over loyalty and justice. I cut down my very fellows who chose to draw a fool like me. I've walked my entire life as the flow carried me, and when I finally had the mind to look back, I saw where blood-red traces everywhere I had gone, it's in about time. I admitted that this game cannot be won, that... Mentor, that weakness in your strength has failed your mission. The weakness in your position has failed your honor, and the weakness in your heart has become the thin display that could your fellows. Endu, you are here to talk me into keep on living, yet your words pain me so. What weakness of yours is it this time that you will cast away your own crit on life? What other weakness will you use as an excuse today? Stop trying to bear responsibilities asked not of you. The Blade Age was never about responsibility, nor was it about you, Mento. How does your overbearing guilt help you overestimate your importance? What was that saying again? Fellow travelers in the same boat we lay one another, no single soul demanded that of you. Talk about kicking a man when he's down. And I have had enough of that flippant larking of yours. Well, do you truly believe that not a single one of us had picked up on the fact that all your levity was a means of relieving yourself of the burden you had cast upon your own shoulders? None of us ever demanded some impossible feat from you. What was it that you all have ways so to describe yourself? That you are but a butchering blade that wields not itself a tool wielded by willing hands. Why, Mentor, I know not what kind of shame or responsibilities a mere tool has, do you? Because I fail to see any. If the chain does not subside still, then shroud your face with the bamboo hat of yours and live on. Live on so that you may repay your debts. Out of blades, out of arrows. And the heart that saw death lies defeated at your feet. There is no stone left for my next gambit. There is nothing more. Indeed, perhaps there was some merit in your words. Tamus retreated from this silly game of stones and became a fiend of blades. Mentor, that is not what I said. Interesting. Whence did you hear that poem? Yes, when inverted a bamboo hat is like an unladen ship. Endu and Imio were knocked away from bamboo hatted Kim as though bounced off by invisible force. Carmen's mentioning. Kim raised his gaze to meet the empty air as though someone was there, a hollow laughter escaping his lips. We know who is talking it to. It's the boys. Your last move was not a good one indeed. I did wish to become a blade, and what you did What did you do? Force me into an indiscriminate one that leaves behind into friend of all both. It seems that in your excitement you have cornered yourself with the last move. Well, as it seems I have had the opportunity to retrace our past moves. Allow me to try something different this time. Be not so vexed by this round, as you say. We never know what the next game shall bring. I appreciate and will treasure the other bits of your advice. But let us play by my rules for tonight's game. Something different this time, innit? Yeah, and this whole thing, I think that's an efflorescence, perhaps. Nothing is for certain indeed. Yet the truth that the words of my last remaining follower have also reached your ears. And but a tool wielded by willing hands. Nothing in my life has ever been sentient. I know not whatever this move is what cements my defeat, but I desire to be victorious stone nonetheless. Thank you. I will take what encouragement I can. The strange invisible pressure dissipates and the more woman him gave up readjusts her grip on the sword. Kim turned around to look at her, and I saw that a weighty shadow seemed to have been lifted from his face, replaced by a mix of relief and determination. I'd be embarrassing to change my stance now, but no, I fight to live. And I suppose you will be okay with that? Of course. To hide from heaven's gaze, this hat I wore. An empty boat, it bore my friends alone. In bamboo bale, we drift from shore to shore. With wine, I don my hat to watch blooms stall. In mirth, I do threshold to moon adore. So with this bamboo hat to veil my brow. The winds and rain, my rage, I shall not throw. He to me, bamboo-hatted one, speak your name, for I find your outfit dubious of character. I am he who has mentored the lineage of late to its premature end. I am he who has sought to bring salvation to the downtrodden to no avail. What to call a man who has failed to disburden himself of the war? How to name a man who has failed to bear the weight of the war? There is none. So call me Bamboo-Hatted King. Bamboo-Hatted King, the treacherous wretch. Victory. Funny that they actually, yeah, even in the fight was King with the 69 HP. The photographs rapidly fall away from reality. Perhaps because Kim had successfully managed to face his own past. When the photographs and memories that were overlaid upon the phantoms are pulled away, what remains is a man in dirty rug clothing. The phantoms of escort slowly lose grip on his world, and soon reveals the phantoms of the desertion that was hidden beneath it. I see residents of backstreets in their blissful highs from taking the can experience, and a man who's watching them with disapproval. Why? Why is everyone running away from all this? A baker, always surrounded by the smell of fresh baked bread. A florist who makes lovely bouquets for writing youngsters. A photographer who captures beautiful sights to remember. They're our lives, our experiences. You wanna be a billionaire in an extravagant mansion in an S? A legendary fixer who can make the syndicates cover in fear just by going on a stroll? What you get from those cans is not real. It's everything in your lives, all of this. Use empty means to an end so that you can get high on fake purchase experiences nailed into a can. If that's how your life is, then my life and the photographs I've taken are all. No, it can't be my life. Those experiences and memories I photograph are different. You are all blindly consuming fake experiences after fake experiences, without a care about the real thing. That's why you're floundering, grasping at illusions. So let me show you the things I have shot. The memories, the experiences, the reality of your lives. It was only in passing, but I glimpsed an unmistakable grimace A skull on Marcel's face. I reflect on the events of today and could at least begin to guess as to why that might be. You don't believe there is an experience in either the kind of experience or that guy's photographs, do you, Marcel? Because experience and memories aren't the same thing. What really distinguishes them, I wasn't sure. Correct, Manager Dante. But what I knew was the distinction was, for whatever reason, important to Marcel. District 14 resident. Huh. A figure materialized into a humanoid form, swirling out of the projector. He must be the distortions. And next to him is another figure, storming on into a giant suit of armor. Blimey, that thing's still alive! It is but an override of atoms created within a distorted space. The concept of life as death has little meaning for such a thing. Yet faint does she grow, even with a distortion power is waning. Accused one, for these are your crimes. The crime of fomenting chaos in a foreign wing while impersonating Chunox of Salcipio Agroindustries. The crime of exploiting the suffering of Salcipio Agroindustries downtrodden as a mere veil for one's own phantoms. And, though it be but a part of reenactment, impersonating the military commissioner of the kingdom without a royal decree. Pursuant to the law of the homeland, the accused is to be sentenced to death by beheading. And before we even had the chance to step in on anything, the faint Mirage Lake Warrior rolled down her sword on the Doggroffer's neck, decapitating him. Indeed, you died. Pretty expected, although not the reasons I was expecting. It was by his own distortion. Can an entity of the phantoms lie one outside it? Such an instance has therefore never been observed, but as it is happening right now, right before our eyes, I can only say yes. Young Elves is a one-upon principle. She would have done the same to the Beta End, had she truly been here. As the headless body of the infection point crumples to the floor, Young Elves shape slowly phrases out of reality. And we found ourselves back in the projection room. And there... No way, don't tell me that headless corpse is... We found a large group of injured and corpse staff thrown pell-mell out of the room, and Ezra Wu was looking down at the headless body of the docugrapher. Oh wait, a bit more story? I would say probably it's the wrap-up. The wrap-up.
완벽하게 수행되었지 않은
Jisang. And Ryashu.
아직 기회는 없구려. 그렇다면
The subject.
아무것도
I don't think it's a lot left, so shall we continue? But just checking the time, 1:50. But there were 3 fights, right? So we'll say maybe like 1.5 hour. Probably, I think. We can end it in 3 chapters too, once again. Just like the twin interests in intervallo, falling enough. Yep, right now, gotcha team leader. And that's the initial report done. Good work, guys. Taking her radio back in, Ezra commandos in a relief voice. This surgeon had perished in the mission. Will that not cause trouble? Yeah, that kinda sucks, but it's not like you guys could help it. We'll have thought that the distortion will kill its own inflection point. If we knew that in advance, we probably would have prepared something to stop it. But, well, that's for the LCD and team leader to investigate. All in all, this mission was still a success since we managed to eradicate the distortion from AirCorp, not to mention satisfying our client. Also, Elsa looked towards Sangdu and King with like her shrug, clearly less concerned than she had been earlier. Now I finally know why you've been disappearing on your own without letting us know. You don't seem to have any more reason to, though, so it's all good. Hey, that's a real winner of this mission in my book. Phew! The point is, we did the thing, it's done. Gosh, I swear I'm never doing one of these without the team leader. But again, seriously, I got this close to losing it more than a few times. It seemed that the responsibility of looking after her LCD juniors had kept her stressed and high-strung through the mission. I had noticed it with her brows and finally relaxed, bringing back the shipper Ezra I was more familiar with. Thus, I shall not abide by more of your indolence, you will now join us on missions and tasks as you're expected to. Is that understood, mentor? And do, would you mind releasing the hems of my sleeve? How would I have give to lie down and pass out right now? The Ramotion's sinking voice had likewise faded, and when Engdu's voice no longer as barbed as it had been in the Phantoms, it seemed to me that the two were back to the more relaxed selves I knew. Huh. Can't exactly say more relaxed for him though, cause that's how he always been, at least what I have seen in any case. Fine, you are released. Huh. Giving me a good, heart shake. I don't feel so good. Saying do, I'm afraid I may have gone overworked with upgrading your arm. With your hem release, allow me to reiterate that. Stop! My heart sings peace as well as I watch them bicker. Is everyone doing okay? Yes, Executive Manager. Of course, I have only suffered minor injuries that don't require you to go through the trouble of rewinding the clock. Oh, hang on, mate. I got a dislocated shoulder. I can pop that right back into place for you. Allow me, I've taken care of similar injuries in the field. Yeah, and guess what happened the last time I let you do that? You rotated my bloody arm to the wrong way and turned the bones in my shoulder into little chips. Not sorry, I can rewind that. I know I've already grown used to the pain of rewinding the sinner's injuries, and dislocated shoulder shouldn't be a big deal. I have to ask you a clarification, if you will. Yeah? Does to recall how as we battled the N-Corp's being frame team, the foes have taken photographs of us? And? They are those who were sent to identify and capture the one who had violated that taboo, forsooth. The quest to interpret is not mystery. We had to come to blows, yet I find it to be most perplexing. Wherefore did they take so many photographs of us? Maybe they were taking photographs to report their locations? Recording footage is taboo in Rancor, meaning they can install security cameras here. Their only option for keeping a consistent record when tracking down a case or person is by photographs. Think words had hold water yet. Most puzzling forsooth. For I recall with clarity that, from a certain point, they had begun photographing us with renewed obsession. Oh, that sounds like a question for Marcel. Given how often I had relying on the information Marcel had provided me in this mission, I think I gotten enough practice on how to phrase my questions the right way and pull the answers I need from him. I couldn't get him to tell us his own judgment on matters, but since he seems to have a near photographic memory of what he's seen. Marcel, do you remember how many pictures of us the N-Corp staff took? I do, 56 times. That's a lot of pictures. You actually remember the exact number of times they shot us? I do. It's always funny seeing his memory in action, so did you get the chance to see which one of us got the most photographs taken? I did. Oh, who is it? Who is it? Oh, is it me? I make up for a fine photo if I did it myself. No, it wasn't you. It was me. Huh? But why? I mean, what's the most statistically likely reason that it was you? It was at that moment I heard the sound of pebbles crunching on their boats, approaching us louder and louder. What the heck? N-Corp. Oh, dang it. Are you here because we bet up some of you guys? Listen here, we had to because of the distortion, It is as she says, their chemistry was an unfortunate consequence of combating the distortion phenomenon. Limbus Company provides a customer damage compensation program in case of such unforeseen events. Instead of again choosing a battle, please select to contact the emergency response team at our hard cards as you first. Yes, we fully understand the circumstances surrounding the battle, as we intend to submit an expeditious request for damage compensation as you have recommended. But we are here on different business, so if you will be so kind as to let us speak. Different business? They are here to arrest me, manager. Hold on, Marcel. Let's hear them out. Wait, what? Marcel did not resist. He walked past us and joined the group of N-Corp employees. Please confirm that you are Marcel, formerly one who nailed home. Wait, what? Please confirm that you're Marcel, formerly one who nails and a former member of the maintenance and management team at the Grand Magazine CC headquarters. Who nails? Isn't that Guido's position too? as a sub-commander after the one who grips. Huh. And the headquarters of CC. A maintenance management it would steal from headquarters. Confirm. By the decree of the Giants, you have been expelled from NCORP with imprisonment as the penalty for non-compliance. Pursuant to Article 12 of the Eviction Regulations, you have also been informed that remaining in NCORP district for more than 6 hours may subject you to immediate arrest. Please confirm that your memory pertaining to the above incidents has not been expunged and you are of sound mind to recall it in the scenery. Confirm. Very well, then in keeping with the regulations, I hereby notify you are not subject to arrest and transport. Place your hands behind your back and please offer no resistance. I am required to inform you that resistance may incur in further penalties. Wait, stop! What the hell is going on? Wait, forget all that. Did you know this will happen, Mersal? Mersal stood calmly with his arm behind his back as the employees handcuffed him not pleasantly in my direction. I did, manager. Then why the heck didn't you warn? It was less a question and more a reflex, but it didn't need to hear his reply to know why. Right, I never asked, did I? You did not. I would say you sure warned us way earlier, but you would just reply will follow those instructions going forward, right? Yes, I will. So you're not in custody from this moment onward. You're considered a suspect and will be transported to NCORP headquarters for your trial. As for the rest of you, will you be the organization the suspect is part of? Organize your ass, what in the bloody hell do you think you are? Help if you are able to antagonize NCORP wing. In terms of a reasonable or justified cause, such a contract engagement battle with the secret or police entities is strongly discouraged. Yeah, and we're just supposed to trade our terms while to drag him away. This must be another piece of information they neglected to tell me. Yeah, another development that was set in stone. Despite her calm collected explanation, I could tell that this was not a pleasant situation for Fawcett, as she was sending an uncomfortable glance at the NCORP employees. So where are you taking him? A retrial will be scheduled for the execution of the exile's sentence. The reply is especially as they took Mersal into custody. We look back at them not knowing what to do or say. The late afternoon soon pricked at us like 1,000 hot needles. The sun was too bright. Mersal, now in cuffs, gazed at us with an expression that would not have seemed out of place on an ordinary day. Okay. So, that's the beginning for the new canton, probably? It sure is. Quite a cliffhanger they're leaving it. So, part of maintenance in one. Who grips? No. One who nails of maintenance in the headquarters of the city. Quite a position, I have to say. Man, I know I was going to expect quite happily the Mersal Canto, but now I'm quite expectant now, which is funny if I get the job. Well, it's a job, no, it's not going to make me unable to play again. Still, very entertaining one. Kings also developer. Well, I guess finally let become a bit more. We will call it sure of his own choices, maybe. Gain courage, I guess, to keep on living, to get rich, to keep on living. And we have one less Mersal. Once again, now that I think about it, it was indeed again Mersal, the one that accepted the hanging in the time track. Quite expectant. So tell me, what did you guys think about this Canto? I quite good, decently. It was a bit worry of the beginning, well, not the beginning, I guess the middle part, when they were giving so much protagonism to Kim that maybe it wasn't his problems, and living of his own accord still work, and it was all good and roses. But no, Engdu did begin to, how do you call it, get angry by that bit. So now probably Kim is going to be on a leash by Engdu, which quite funny. deserved also. But yeah, pretty eventful one. Preparing is for next Canto, which is going to be August, if I remember correctly. In July, probably is going to be the Luxcavation. No, Luxcavation. The Walpurgis Snatch. So we are very close. 2 months. If we don't have the lights, right? If everything goes according to plan, it's 2 months. So quite the adventure, excited. So hope you like today's episode. You can say to me what you think of this one. If you also have something I didn't and want to share with everybody. And hope to see you next time, which is, if it's direct continuation, is going to continue with Library Arena, or if it's the next time I play Limbus Company, then it's going to be, depends if, how you call it? Depends on if the Walpurgis Snatch is going to have history. If not, it's probably going to be till the Canto then. Whatever the case, hope to see you next time, and thank you for watching. Bye bye!